Crazy Horse was a Lakota leader of the Oglala tribe who sacrificed himself to maintain the Lakota way of life. Crazy Horse was a terrific leader who is now remembered for his important role in the Battle of Little Bighorn, veteran fight, and the Battle of Rosebud. He fought to protect the land and traditions of his people. Without Crazy Horse, the battle outcome would have been extremely different. On June 25, 1876, the Battle of Little Bighorn took place. The Native Americans and United States made an agreement to follow the Treaty of Fort Laramie. This was an arrangement to settle within the Black Hills. After discovering gold in the Black Hills, the U.S. ignored the treaty and continued to invade their territory. The Sioux and Cheyenne tribes were devastated from this act of betrayal, that they left their reservations to help Crazy Horse and Sitting Bull fight against Colin George Custer. Thousands of Native Americans have united along the Little Bighorn River. The U.S. Army arrived and ordered them to return to their reservations or else they would be attacked. The U.S. Army soldiers avoided having a confrontation with the Native Americans, so instead the U.S. Army collected their weapons and allied against the camp to prepare for battle. Custer's men entered Little Bighorn Valley and were soon to be spotted by the Native Americans. Word quickly spread of the attack waiting to happen. Sitting Bull reassembled his warriors, bringing the children and women to safety, while Crazy Horse gathered his army to meet his attackers. Despite Custer's attempt of winning the battle, they were rapidly outnumbered. Custer and his 200 men were soon attacked by thousands of Native Americans. Within an hour, Custer and all his soldiers were dead. The Battle of Little Bighorn was believed to be the Native Americans' greatest victory and the U.S. Army's worst defeat in the Long Plains Indian War. Author William B. Madison shares the story of the Edwards clan family, relatives of the Lakota family. William explains what happened at the Wounded Knee Massacre and how Crazy Horse was involved.
So, for our family, it started when our grandfather got assassinated in Fort Robinson in 1877. And before he went to Fort Robinson, 2 weeks before the Battle of Little Bighorn, they held a Sundance north of Lame Deer, Montana, about 6 miles north of there. And at this Sundance, this is where Sitting Bull was shown a vision of the soldiers, what was going to happen at Little Bighorn. So they put it on a rock called Deer Medicine Rock. For our family, we call it the rock that belonged to the black-tailed deer. And this is where my grandfather, he was shown his demise, how he's going to leave this earth at that Sundance. So he put his vision right west of this Deer Medicine Rock, today they call on Jack Bailey's land. There's an owl sitting there of rock. And the owl is one of our family's medicines. So on the belly of this owl, he put what he was shown from his Sundance, his demise. And it showed that there was a doctor standing there, Mellicuddy. My grandfather standing beside him. The soldier that stabbed him twice, he was holding a rifle and a bayonet. And his own people were standing with this soldier. And it showed horse tracks that were up and down like this, coming in, meaning he was to be alive coming in. When he leaves, the horse tracks are laying down, meaning he was to be dead when he leaves. So, which happened 15 months later. Red Cloud and Spotted Tail, who were head of these two paper tribes that the government made and acknowledged, and put these two people in front of it and said, we're going to deal with these two for all the lands in this area like this. So this is where when they said we were acknowledged by the government, they signed for my grandfather's agency. And when they put their signatures down, the government said that was an illegal transaction, because only the blood family could claim this agency. So that's when, under United States history, it's the Act of 1877, when the United States confiscated 8.7 acres, including the Black Hills. That was my grandfather's agency. And this is where they took it back to Washington. And this was how that act came. So the government said only the blood family could claim this agency. So when we were told to stand up 2001, tell our true identity, well, the blood family wants our grandfather's agency. That was promised to them. And today, it's sitting in the Secretary of State office in Washington, this agency. And it has a presidential seal on it. When a president puts a seal on something, a document or anything, that's an executive order. And under the federal law, if the seal is not broke, it's still law today. So this is where we had a friend that lives in North Carolina. His name was William Carrington. He's a historian. And we met him at Little Bighorn battlefield, the Park Service there. But he heard us talking. He asked if he could go look for our grandfather's agency in Washington. He said, I only live an hour from Washington, D.C. So I told him, yeah, go ahead, go look. And there he called back, but when he said that, he left. I told my brothers, I want to see if he's serious in what he's saying. Because people say things and then not do it. And there he called back and he said he went to the Smithsonian and he went to the American Library of Congress. I didn't find it there. So then I knew that he was serious when he was looking, he was actually looking. So I told him it's in the Secretary of State office. You're a historian. Historians are given a code, or they could, when they research, they show them the originals and like this. So he went to the Secretary of State office. This is what he told us when he called back. That I went to this Secretary of State office and I asked, and through security led me downstairs, down this hall, and there was a door they opened. And in this room, there was a table sitting in the middle of this room. And there was glass over the top of this table. It was sticking up so far like that, covered this table.